Kero, the wolf that got away with it. Ooh, how do you like that guy? I've just got away with that somehow. Okay, anyway, it's from Turkey Thomas. Let's get this going.
Furries. They're one of the internet's most infamous subcultures. While years ago they were maligned based on the strange presentation of their interests, today furries are generally accepted with the rest of the internet and no longer mocked to nearly the same extent. However, with communities that participate in unorthodox behavior, a few bad actors being brought to light will often cast a shadow on the rest of them. The last time we touched on the furry community, we discussed a particularly strange individual who spent her time attempting to legitimize her own zoophilia acceptance movement. Hypnotist Sappho believed that humans and animals could be in relationships. She herself claimed to have abused several dogs to reflect.
Well, they can be. It's just not moral. Like, I don't know if well, I guess animals don't really consent to being in relationships anyway. Even when you like have like a dog as a pet, you're just like, you're here now, and they're just like, I don't want to be here. And then eventually, like, I guess I'm here now, and then they develop Stockholm syndrome, basically. Right? Like, that's why you need to make sure you don't let your dog run outside when you buy it, because it'll just leave. It doesn't want to be there. I'm just being honest. All right, so.
These beliefs. When something like this is said on a public platform, those who participate are often lambasted for their takes on these subjects, and deservedly so.
I do not have a thing for humans. I am more attracted to dogs, like German Shepherds.
Typical woman, honestly, if you really think about it. Typical woman stuff. Women like dogs more than people. I guess everybody likes dogs more than people. Let's be honest. Dogs are so much better than people. Not for sex though. That part's weird. But if you put the sex aside, you know, humans are annoying as shit. You know what I mean?
If you are willing to stay and listen to my view and
No, I'm not. I'm not. This video is 36 minutes long. I don't have a ton of confidence that in 36 minutes you're gonna say anything that makes anyone go, yeah, you know what? You're right.
Maybe.
Totally.
You never know.
But for just how awful she was.
Sounds like you're afraid. You're afraid to be turned to the dark side.
Even Sappho herself disavowed one particular name from the furry community. Sappho claims that zoophiles are typically misunderstood, and speaks of someone else who is genuinely evil.
Zoophilia is often very misunderstood, especially because of certain very terrible people and what you may have seen in the news. And someone that I will not mention, if you remember that situation with the zoo sadism leaks a few years back.
It's kind of funny to hear someone who had sex with a German Shepherd morally grandstand about anything, but regardless of that, it is somewhat perplexing.
I will say one thing. I know it's going to be a hot take, but I think it's more... Just listen to me before you fucking cry. I think it's more acceptable for a girl to have sex with a boy dog than a boy to have sex with a girl dog. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be that guy. It's neither of them are okay. But think about it, okay? You got a dog putting in a woman's vagina, you know? The dog's probably a little more willing. I think a human penis will probably hurt a female dog. You know? You can try to grab it and force it down there. You can't really, like, force a dog to fuck you. I don't know. A boy dog. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just saying, neither of them are okay. It's gross either way. Shouldn't be normal in any capacity. Just saying, bro. Okay? Let's just be honest here. All right? Let's just be honest here.
Someone as deplorable as Sappho.
Listen, I'm just saying what needs to be said. It's the truth, and you know it.
Time intentionally attracting minors to Discord servers in order to expose them to her zoophilia community, stopped short of endorsing whatever happened in these leaks, as she refers to them. So what are those leaks? In September of 2018, a massive dump of files, including videos and chat logs, were released to the internet. These materials outlined the existence of an online community dedicated to zoo sadism, the practice of humans hurting animals for sexual pleasure. While reading that out sounded bad enough, as more and more leaks came out, the internet nearly exploded with how disturbing the content was. It seemed like for a time, everyone on this side of the internet was talking about the zoo sadism leaks, with a particular focus on one furry.
Hey, guys, check it out. Here's the hot take. Sappho created this zoo sadist ideology to push it to the dial more extreme, to make what she was doing more normalized, thus having an argument as to why it should be more mainstream. Boom. It's all conspiracy, guys, and it's all connected. You gotta think about it. It's all connected. It's a conspiracy, bro. It's a conspiracy, you dingus. It's true. Think about it.
Wolf. But suddenly the investigation was dropped, seemingly on a technicality. Shortly after, Kero came back to YouTube to tell the world that he was innocent of his crimes.
I know this video isn't going to please everyone. I fully expect people to make up new accusations and lies about me. I know this video may not please everyone, but I'm moving.
Bro, you really gonna not have your mask on? Listen, I would never do this, but if I was gonna fucking abuse dogs and sleep with them, I would not show my face. I mean, I wouldn't be that dumb. That would be insanity. Put the fucking mask on. What are you doing?
Forward with my content and my channel.
Since then, he's posted to YouTube multiple times and is currently semi-active on Twitter, even bragging about getting the accounts of others banned.
Damn, we got Mr. Girl's gone, but this guy's still here? That is actually surprising.
So what happened? Why, after all of the chat leaks, conversation across every social media platform, and an official police investigation, did it all amount to nothing?
I guess because he fucking hurt a dog and nobody cares.
This is the story of how Kero the Wolf got away with it. Kero the Wolf, real name Joshua Hoffman, was
the police are fucking dogs. That's what it is. That's why they have those special dogs that can sniff cocaine. They can sniff cocaine and also the assholes of police officers. Everything's so connected, dude. Everything is so connected, dude. Police officers are fucking dogs. Okay.
Likely indistinguishable from any other internet user when he first came online. It's believed
he kind of looks like this guy that I've seen named Turkey Tom. Honestly, Tom Dark actually looks a little similar. I mean, if you look at, look. Okay, look at this guy.
Joshua Hoffman was likely indistinguishable from any other internet user when he first came online. It's believed that sometime in 2012, he began to be involved with the furry fandom after a wallpaper of a bunch of people in fursuits caught his interest. Like any member of any fandom, he then began looking for places to express his newfound interest and discover like-minded people. He subsequently created a Vine, Twitter.
The fucking problem with the internet, dude. This is the problem with the internet, is it puts crazies together. You know, let's say you have like 1,000 fucking weirdos dispersed across a population of 7 billion. They're not going to feel accepted, you know, because they don't know anybody around them with the same idea, and they can't anonymously share it. All of a sudden, you put the internet on there. Hey guys, I might want to fuck. Hey guys, I might want to go get diapers out of the garbage and put them in the microwave. Dirty diapers, and wear them. And all of a sudden, there's a fucking 300 people. Oh, you've been speaking facts right now, dude. Say, come on, bro. This fucking stuff is crazy. My neck is so thin. Weird.
And signed up for Fur Affinity, a forum dedicated entirely to the existence and discussion of the furry fandom. But he wasn't content just being a part of the community. He also wanted to share his passion with the world. On July 7th, 2013, he created his YouTube channel, simply titled Kero the Wolf. From there, he began posting videos revolving around the fandom itself, with uploads like Alameda Fur Meet and Monthly Pittsburgh Comic Fur Bowl, showing footage of various furry meetups around the country. The oldest video he uploaded is actually dated the same day as the channel's creation, and features a video of a furry walking into a wedding to snap a photo with the bride and groom.
We all have that one thing that drives us absolutely insane, and it makes us want to beat so in the face of the fish. Oh.
Enter Ashley Zoe Fox, someone who was aware of the furry fandom and felt it deserved to be covered in a larger platform. There's no doubt
cover with a blanket and smother it. It's what it deserves to be covered in.
That strange internet-based subcultures call for further exploration and content, and at the time it was pretty popular to either mock or investigate corners of the web which are considered to be unorthodox. But Ashley wouldn't be the one to make the video that would shoot Kero to stardom. Instead, she nudged a personal friend of hers to make a video focused on the community. That friend was Shane Dawson.
That was a girl? Okay, sorry.
Werewolves, I was into the whole werewolf thing, you know, grr, and stuff. But I was looking for a werewolf wallpaper. Damn,
I knew Shane Dawson was problematic. Why do you think he's doing this? Because he fucks cats. He fucked his cat in the ass. It all makes sense now. You gotta think about it. It makes sense. Shane Dawson is part... Bro. Oh my god. Shane Dawson is part of the same fucking community of zoo sadists. He's sitting here and he's like, oh yeah, I love fucking my cat. Maybe he was only part of the community that like zoophiles, like to fuck zoo animals or whatever. But this guy he wouldn't. Of course, you're not going to explicitly come out with that. He's like, yeah, I like to fuck my cat too. Actually, I prefer wolves. And he's like, oh my god, I'm Shane Dawson and I love fucking my cat and stuff like that. So I'm going to platform you and make you look like not so bad. I'm going to put furries in the fucking public eye and I'm going to create this fucking problem, dude. I fucking knew Shane Dawson was a problem, bro. This is not good. This is not good, dude. I fucking knew this guy was problematic. I fucking knew. I knew it. The second I heard Shane Dawson was gay, I knew he was going to be a problem. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. It's just a joke, guys. Don't worry about it. But the rest of the conspiracy is probably not true. But you just you think about it.
For my computer, and these like fursuits showed up. I'm like, oh my god! And I clicked on it. I set it as my wallpaper for like a week, and then my friend pointed out, I'm like, you like furries? I'm like, well, what's a furry? Holy crap. So I looked it up and I got dragged right into it.
While today he is maligned by many YouTubers and celebrities alike, at the time Shane was relatively respected and had a loyal audience who really enjoyed what he did. There were those that were critical of him, but his channel had just shy of 10 million subscribers, providing an unprecedented amount of attention to anyone who would co-star in his videos. More than any TV show, and more than just about every other YouTube channel that was around at the time. What's more, he was currently at the beginning of his arc as a YouTube documentarian, pulling on threads from areas of the web that typically do not receive much exposure. In May of 2018, he would release a video titled Weird Side of the Internet. Furries.
And today, we're going to be talking about furries.
The first 4 minutes of the video are dedicated to just giving an introduction as to who Kero is. Shane reacts to some of his content, makes jokes at Kero's expense, but also makes it clear that he finds him to be a likable figure who he wants to know more about. It's at this point in the video when he reaches out to Kero himself for an interview, and the two spend basically the entire rest of the video talking about the fandom.
Stereotype, I guess, of furries, which is that it's a solely sexual thing. And a lot of you guys say it's not, right?
It's not. Honestly, the age variation in furries, it can go anywhere from a person to be 12 years old to like 60 years old. There's a huge...
That doesn't communicate to me that it's not a sexual thing. Yeah, it's not a sexual thing. There's 12-year-olds in it. That just raises an alarm in my head. That's just like, wow, that's not good. Like, it can still be sexual. Maybe you're grooming. I'm not saying that that's what furries are. Furries are harmless. They're just annoying. But I'm just saying that fundamentally doesn't communicate non-harm. Just letting you know, okay?
Range of ages in here. So most of the furry fandom is not a fetish. There is a sexual side to it, but it's not that large.
Kero wants to make it clear that while there are some weird furries who may be interested in the sexual side of things, he personally just does it because he's a fan of animals and wants to share in his hobby online. While Shane makes it clear that he finds the interest somewhat strange, as the video goes on, he seems to actually take a liking to the idea of wearing a fursuit. He shines a pretty positive light on the community as a whole and gives his millions of fans the impression that furries, while there are weirder aspects to them, are ultimately nothing but a bunch of people partaking in a harmless hobby and having fun. And why wouldn't he say that? From the video, Kero himself seems to be
I mean, like, honestly, it's true. I mean, furries are really just people trying to have fun. It's not that big of a deal. Like, most of them, at least. You know, it is true. It really is true. I was gonna make like a joke, but I got nothing. It is true. But of course, there's some fucking weirdos out there.
Pretty harmless individual based off their interactions. Apart from the obvious exposure Kero got from the video itself, Shane also made a point to shout him out, encouraging his fans to subscribe to Kero and to get him to the 100,000 subscriber milestone.
He deserves a lot more than that. Guys, please go to Kero.
God damn it, Shane. Stop it.
Can we get Kero to 100K? I think we can.
Shane Dawson's fans began flocking to Kero's channel, complimenting him on his sense of humor and lighthearted approach to the hobby. They seem to generally enjoy his videos and push aside whatever cringe factor is typically associated with furries to just enjoy his content. I'm from Shane's channel. This is actually really cool. And Shane's sense of humor is offensive and funny, but he really likes you and you really opened my eyes to some things. Keep doing what you're doing. And it wasn't just a few nice comments either. Kero's channel jumped from 10,000 subscribers to over 90,000 in that month alone. While
when am I gonna get a boost from a big content creator? Damn, bro. Somebody's like, this guy's really good. Go follow him. I don't think ever. I don't think I've ever gotten like any real endorsement from any like content creator. I'm not saying that like I don't get bumps sometimes. I'm just saying that would be cool. Because I feel like it's actually tough. I'm just gonna complain a little bit now. I mean I don't deserve anything like that. I'm just saying like it's so it's tough to like grow your channel slowly and like really hit without like somebody that's like prominent in like a particular community be like, yeah, this guy, you know what I mean? It's tough, but every day a little bit more. So, you know.
While previously he had been a name unknown to most, Shane had exposed Kero's personality to a side of the internet that otherwise probably would have shrugged him off just based on his appearance. He continued posting videos like he had been making to his YouTube channel, and by early 2018, he had passed 100,000 subscribers, officially making him one of the most popular furry YouTubers ever. In fact, as of July of that year, he was ranked within the top 10 most subscribed to furtubers, alongside more recognizable faces like Majira Strawberry. Majira, someone who is active on YouTube to this day, had done multiple collab videos with Kero where they donned their costumes together and promoted messages of love and tolerance for a group that in past years had been made fun of by a decent portion of the internet.
Thank you guys so much for 100,000 subscribers. Oh my god, I can't even comprehend this. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you always make me happy. You're the best. You make me step up to tell people furries aren't bad. The cinematography was absolutely stunning in this video, Kero. I've been here since 20K, and you've grown so much. And I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say I'm so proud of you, Kero. Keep up the good work, man. We love you. Well, how sweet, and honestly, how inspirational. Kero had gone from someone typically frowned on by society for his strange interests to someone celebrated online as one of the biggest popufurs out there. Unfortunately for him, it would soon be revealed that his messages of love and tolerance were merely a facade, built for the express purpose of hiding something much, much darker beneath the surface.
Probably a bad dragon dildo. It's probably what was being hidden. That shit's fucking gross, dude. They're like the size of soda cans. Have you ever seen those things? Incredible.
On the 16th of September 2018, a number of logs began leaking from the furry community onto Twitter from a user by the name of Zoodenim. These leaks would later be reposted by an account by the name of Mordecai, who posted a thread captioned, "Content warning, zoophilia, animal abuse, pedophilia." Kero the wolf is a part of a circle of furries who participate in not only zoophilia, but also necrophilia, animal torture, and discussion of pedophilia. Here's the evidence. There are many, but I'll focus on him. According to Zoodenim and the leaks, Kero and a number of others had been engaged in these conversations for years, which they felt the need to expose after infiltrating their group for 2 of those years. But Mordecai themselves were not really sure who Zoodenim was, nor did they know the full story behind all of it. All they had was the archive of what was previously compiled, and presented it as such. This content was compiled by the now defunct Zoodenim. I'll get more into this later. A few things before I start posting. I don't know who any of these individuals are. These screenshots date back literal years, and I don't know who Zoodenim is. Many in the replies went on to speculate on the veracity of these claims and comment on if the chat logs that were leaked were real at all. Zoodenim's reasoning for leaking all of these logs seemed to be some realization of how fucked up these people were once they were able to confirm more of their heinous actions. They say they know they'll be hated for betraying their friends, but feel the information has to be made public. Zoodenim themselves also indicates that they are a zoophile, but that the rest of those involved are zoo sadists. This means that those they expose specifically enjoy necrophilia and snuff films created of animals.
Why?
I am sorry if people hate me for this or feel betrayed, but I don't care. Half of these people talk to me and use my chats to meet others. Fuck you. If the community took out its own trash, you wouldn't have this shit happen. So good on you. The bottom line is, there are way too many of you covering for your friends that are into, /sharing, /participating, let alone fucking creating content such as this. This is not acceptable. Do you want to be accepted by society? Grow up. Some of these people were my friends. I burnt relationships I had with others for years for this. But you know what? When I find out my friend fucked a puppy to the point of splitting it open, then left it for dead, that's not a fucking friend. To those of you who cover for these
What the fuck? Jesus Christ. That's horrible. Oh my Lord. That's horrible.
Know that it eventually comes around one way or the other. When these people are arrested, you'll be right there with them. Because guess what? Zoo is fucking illegal. And if this is what zoo is, good. It should be. So
I think what he should have said is zoo fucking is illegal, not zoo is fucking illegal. You know what I mean? Because, like, gross.
So clearly, Zoodenim here had seen something that they consider to be horrific, especially considering one particular line about a puppy. It's likely some of the most stomach-churning shit you've ever heard.
Yes.
As word got around about what had happened, the leaked Telegram chats became the primary subject of the online investigation, with users attempting to determine their veracity based on the information presented. And, after actually going through the leaked chat logs which were alleged to be sent from Kero the Wolf in this Telegram group, it's no surprise that everyone was so passionate about finding out if they were real. On October 23rd, 2016, a message was sent reading, "Sorry for not responding last night, I passed out. But yeah, I'm okay with necro stuff if it's not that bloody, but I'm totally against killing for sex."
Okay, necro. What the fuck? You're kind of okay with fucking dead stuff. I'm okay with necro stuff. It's not if it's not that bloody. What the fuck, dude? What is wrong with you?
I only do it with roadkill. Ooh, cub porn. I always
what? He fucks road. How do you even fuck roadkill? It's flat. Oh my god.
Loved puppy butt. Same. I need some puppy booty. Same. Let's go grab ourselves a real cub and an animal. Let's make some rare shit. For the unaware, cub refers to content specifically catered to those attracted to younger dogs.
I thought cub was like a gay thing, like you're a fucking bear or a cub. Damn.
Meaning puppies. And from these chat logs, there seems to be some indication that the two, being this Kero the Wolf account and this Snake Thing user, intended on creating bestiality films. That would be hot. Oh, it would be. Oh. I'm okay with humping a 4-month-old. Same. Sorry. I'm a yiffy. That's okay. Me too. There is message after message of Snake.
Is this really him or somebody pretending to be him because they hate him? I wonder.
Thing and this Kero account discussing this material in depth, sending animations back and forth of puppies being abused, talking about how they need to have sex with animals, and even discussing actual encounters they had with real life animals. Kero claims that he used to stick his fingers in his childhood dog, and details a history of animal abuse at his hands. But Kero and Snake Thing were just.
I mean, listen, if you're a weird kid doing that shit, it's gross. But like, where the fuck are the parents? Fingering my dog's ass. I'd smack the fuck out of my kid. Jesus Christ. Put a shock collar on my damn kid. What the hell's the matter with you, dude?
Of the people in these leaks. In fact, the conversations they had were relatively tame in comparison to what the rest of the community was talking about. There was talk of the creation of snuff films, as well as actual videos of animals being tortured and killed that came out with these leaks. Obviously, I cannot show the videos here, nor do I want to because of how disgusting and graphic they are.
Damn,
but
I mean, you saw them? That's fucked up. Jesus.
I will read out a summary someone else posted at the time of the initial allegations.
One thing I've seen are like those cartel videos. Those are pretty fucked up. That's terrible. That shit's horrible. fucking gross.
Described the videos in question. Obvious content warning ahead. These are extremely graphic. They will be disturbing. Even though it's just a description of them, you've been warned. Hey, so just so you all know, if you don't have the stomach to watch the videos of Kero doing shit to these innocent animals, I'm going to give you an extremely triggering thread of what I saw. There's so much more than just, he's a zoo.
People are so sensitive nowadays. Putting a trigger warning? Come on, dude. Putting a trigger warning before a puppy thread? Now we're going too far, am I right, guys? This is fucking gross.
File. Video 1. Kero, in a suit head, forces a medium-sized dog to fillet sex toys, then the real thing. He anally penetrates the dog afterward. The dog runs out of the video several times and retracts and gags from the abuse. Video 2. A tied and muzzled German Shepherd is raped. Video 3. The corpse of a deer is used as a sex toy while its blood is smeared on Kero's legs. It's worth noting that these particular videos were not actually Kero. It was later confirmed to be another member of the chat. Video 4. A small dog is anally and orally raped. Video 5. A puppy is drugged and strapped to a log. It is anally and vaginally raped with the wide end of a baseball bat until blood is visible on the bat. The dog begins to visibly spasm. Now, this is a lot to take in, to say the least. With allegations of this proportion and of this nature, people both inside and outside of the furry community began talking about it, and it became one of the biggest stories of that year. People on Kero's Fur Affinity account sent messages of concern, saying they hoped the accusations were simply fabricated, as they had looked up to Kero. Well, rest assured, he did have a response, being that all of the accusations were faked, and that he had been hacked. Furries and drama. Before you go around believing these rumors about me, know the facts. My account was hacked. I would never do any of these things. These are faked conversations. All of this is someone trying to get attention. They're called trolls. If you choose to believe it without thinking about it logically, then fine. Become that online troll who has that mob mentality. But please always look at both sides first. Wow. It should be obvious that these logs are fake. They don't even talk like me. Some decided to give him the benefit of the doubt based on this response, and posted videos discussing the possibility that the logs were faked and Kero had done nothing wrong.
People go to insane lengths to destroy people they don't like. It is totally not out of the question that someone would have done this out of malicious intent. And
I even said that before. How do we know it was actually real and not just like some bullshit? Because I could totally see people doing that. 100%. Kidding me?
Taken the time to do it, and it's worked.
But Kero's response itself is pretty lacking. The idea that simply because this Kero the Wolf on Telegram didn't speak just like the Kero everyone knew from Twitter and YouTube, that it couldn't possibly be him is just laughable. But let's give Kero the benefit of the doubt, especially with accusations as damning as these are. I mean, anyone in their right mind, if they are innocent, would want to do their best to exonerate themselves. Kero showed that according to his Telegram history, someone had accessed his Telegram account from a different IP address. Someone from Iran, supposedly, had hacked into his account. However, this also could have been done using a virtual private network in order to mask their true location. But clearly something was amiss. In further screenshots, users noted that there was an interesting icon at the top right-hand corner of Kero's screen. This icon is a key and indicates that Kero had his own virtual private network active at the time of taking the screenshot. People called out Kero for this, as it seemed he had fabricated this hack using his own VPN, but Kero simply claimed that he had been using a VPN anyway, and that alone is not evidence that he faked his own security breach. And he'd be right. With accusations of this magnitude, you need to bring a lot to the table in order to prove that someone is guilty. Accusations of this size can not only ruin someone's reputation, but also get them thrown in jail. So let's examine more links between this Kero the Wolf account and the Kero who was defending himself on Twitter. In the days following the leaks, every major platform known to man exploded with content about Kero. The usual suspects like Mr. Medicare covered the story in videos and streams, while others created entire YouTube channels and Twitters dedicated to archiving the situation. When looking at the logs in their totality, it becomes much more difficult to discount that it was the Kero we know from YouTube in these chats. The amount of connections are numerous, and for it not to be Kero, it would have to be a nearly impossible coincidence. First of all, both Keros have similar fetishes. In multiple of the messages, Telegram Kero claims to have an interest in vor, being one of his tamer interests. Amazing, I know. This is also reflected by the public Kero the Wolf Twitter account. Both Keros also claim to live in the same state. Telegram Kero states, just search around Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm about
the only thing I will say is that if it was somebody, if somebody did hack Kero, right, then they would obviously do their best to like impersonate this individual as well, and be like, oh, this is like, I like these things too, plus other stuff I don't actually like. You know what I mean? Like, I would, if you were trying to really take somebody down, like that's how you would do it. If I was trying to take my asshole down, I would be like, yeah, like you'd have a level of education on their stuff. Like you just look at their Twitter, like they like vor, I like vor, you know. So
and a half away from there. Meanwhile, the public.
It's also possible that it actually, like, if he was hacked, you're seeing other messages where he's like, I like vor, and then like that's not the hacked messages though. You know what I mean?
Like Kero Twitter account similarly,
because he would have still made some of these messages without being accessed and hacked, you know.
Pennsylvania, nevertheless near the same city. Even beyond this, Telegram Kero makes multiple specific references to videos that the other Kero was involved in. At some point, he remarks that the Shane Dawson video had helped grow his channel a ton, and talks about how it would be useful in getting more people to be accepting of the fandom. At one point, he discusses how he just filmed a YouTube video where he derped around in a random fursuit. He even has a picture he took with his phone of the video's thumbnail. That video is on Kero's channel to this day, and the date of the upload is the same exact day Telegram conversations about the video took place. There's even instances where Kero discussed videos that he hadn't released yet in the Telegram messages, and later on, the video came out. All of this is pretty convincing on its own, but things get much, much darker when you take into account.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you'd have to like look at the timeline of what was he claiming was taken down. Damn, this guy lost a lot of followers here. He has a 89,500 now, when he had like wouldn't he have over 100K at one point? But yeah, like I was saying, like that would make sense if somebody hacked like an already created and established account. So it still technically doesn't mean it's necessarily him.
Count one of the most specific things revealed in the chat logs. Kero was the owner of a dog, a German and Australian Shepherd mix who he had since childhood. It was his family dog. In early 2017, this dog passed away due to an illness, which corresponds with his public tweets about the situation. I want to do a video tribute for my dog, but I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in. So here's a poll. This was the hardest thing
I want to do a video tribute for my ex-boyfriend, or my ex-girlfriend, my dog that I used to fuck. Is that what we're doing?
Ever had to do. Finally got to go to his grave. Goodbye, Coda. I never thought I would be saying that. It's an experience many people have, saying goodbye to a childhood pet. Something that, while sad, could be considered average. However, Telegram Kero's messages on the subject were anything but average. They show Kero expressing some level of remorse for the things he had done to his dog. Are you okay? Not really. I just got the news that my dog is dying of kidney failure. Man. Yeah, I still miss him. I'm making a tribute video tomorrow. And
would you like fuck your dog and they hit its kidneys? Same thing with my wife, you know what I'm saying?
Friday. Yeah, my father is going to send me a picture of Coda in his casket when he gets home. Ah, there's a cow farm up the road, so I'm tempted to sneak over there and see if I can find a good spot to finger some cow butt. Thank you. I left the group because it reminded me of the stuff I did to him. Now that he's dying, I can't believe I did that to him. I can't be a part of that group any longer. I love him so much, and when he needs me, I can't be there. I'm almost 2 states away. Wraps arms around you. Try not to feel beat up about what you did. He still loves you in the end, and I'm sure he had a blast of a time with you. With some care, he could survive until you see him again, I think. Though it'd be some cost, I think. For closure for you, I think it'd be worth it. The connections between Telegram Kero and the Popufur really go on and on. From music taste being the same, to even posting the same exact song in the—
Sounds like he just kind of admitted to harming his dog. What the fuck? But the way he was talking about it, it sounds almost like he knew what he did was wrong. So does that play well for him a little bit? Slightly, maybe. Still gross.
Chat is the Kero Twitter account had posted the same day. If Kero was somehow telling the truth at this point and there was someone trying to frame him, they would have had to closely follow literally every single aspect of his life and know him personally. They would have to know private details about him that no one knew other than him. Additionally, the possibility that these chat logs were edited is actually an impossibility. After 3 days, you're unable to edit Telegram chat logs. Meanwhile, these conversations were years old. The idea of this being the work of some level 8 Lizard Squad mage was—
Oh, they were years old? Wow. Well, then what doesn't make sense to me is if somebody hacked your information and they were sending messages that you weren't sending, you would be able to see that. I don't know Telegram at all. I've never like used it before, but I imagine it's similar to like every other system where it's like, oh, I have an Instagram. Like you could see your own Instagram messages. So why wouldn't you see, like, oh, so this is weird. There's a message with somebody. I don't even know who that person is. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't that happen? Like, you would notice that, and then you would immediately like you'd get it pulled. So you can't imagine that there would be more than some of it getting hacked. Like, if it's your account that was hacked, then like a good amount of it is still yours, regardless. So
is just extremely unlikely. And Kero had no solid refute for any of the specific connections. He simply made vague statements on social media about being framed while maintaining his innocence. It was also at this point that Shane Dawson quietly privated the video he had done with Kero, having heard of the controversy and not wanting to associate with someone who was an alleged animal abuser. Meanwhile, anyone who had given Kero the benefit of the doubt walked back their prior claims, admitting that the evidence Kero was the one in the logs was simply undeniable.
Kero the Wolf is guilty. At this point, there's no question about that. There's been so much evidence that's come out that all signs point to him being guilty.
The Abyss.
While everything we've covered so far is bad, the previous part of this video is merely the tip of a massive bestiality iceberg. There's so much content you'd think Wendigoon would have a series on it. Regardless, I'll attempt to paint a picture of the kind of community Kero was involved in and just how far back all of this goes. Given the kinds of interests zoophiles and zoo sadists have, there's no way they can openly talk about their sexuality. And I use that term for convenience's sake. On the open internet. Instead, they have to use anonymous websites associated specifically with their interests. Enter the Beast Forums, a now defunct site dedicated to a peaceful gathering of animal rapists. The site had over 2 million accounts worldwide. And in this ocean of degeneracy, there sits one in particular that many took an interest in. The Dogman 2. According to his profile, he's a male born on the 19th of May, 1994, from good old Pennsylvania. The reason this profile caught the attention of so many is because of the existence of a few pictures. Recall Kero's dog, Coda, the same dog that Telegram Kero discussed abusing in the leaked chat logs, who later passed away. The dog itself is a German Shepherd and Aussie mix, giving him a very distinct appearance. On January 22nd, 2012, the Dogman...
I don't know, looks like the same fucking... Looks like a fucking dog to me. I don't... Not distinct to me, I don't know. I don't really give a shit about dogs, so...
2 posted that he had just gotten a puppy, which bears a striking resemblance to Kero's dog. The post itself reads, "Hello, I got a puppy, and he's now 6 months old. The pictures below are when I first got him. But I was wondering, when can I have anal sex with him? He has a sexy butt, emoji, but I don't want to harm him. So how old does he have to be ready for anal?" One of these pictures...
I don't think you could ever fuck a dog in the ass. And what? Dude, come on. Bro. What are you doing? What are you doing, dude? What's happening here? Holy fuck. Jesus Christ, bro.
Was also posted to Kero's official Fur Affinity page, which was also linked to his YouTube channel and Twitter account. The real kicker is that these photos from the Fur Affinity page were also posted long after the Beast Forum's posts. On September 3rd, 2014, the Dogman 2...
That doesn't prove so far that it must have been that guy. You know, it's possible that it's not the same dog, you know, although the timing seems to line up. I don't remember exactly. I'm assuming the Turkey Tom would have lined the time up. He's pretty reputable guy. Because that dog does not look like fucking magical or special to me. Like, it doesn't look different than... I mean, I could just be a fucking idiot, but...
Posted that he would be moving. Anyone in or near Oakdale, Pennsylvania? I'm moving there soon, and I was wondering if I could meet some new buddies when I move there. Throw me a message or comment below if you're interested in meeting. Would love to have some more zoo friends. So, where was Kero the Wolf at this time?
I'm going to college in 4 days.
No! What are you doing?
Excited.
Ah, yes. Embarking on an important step in the life of every young adult. Going to college. So where was Kero going to college? Well, he was moving to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Oakdale is a suburb of Pittsburgh, PA. And to add to that, on the Pennsylvania Furries website, the website for furries from fucking Pennsylvania, where does Kero list his location? Oakdale, Pennsylvania. After all of this was discovered by Kiwi Farms users and reported by Archive the Wolf on YouTube, all photos of Coda from Kero's Fur Affinity page suddenly disappeared. He was covering his tracks. In 2017, the Dogman 2 stated that they had 9 years of experience with animals.
No.
If this is true, then Kero was 13 years old when he first began abusing animals. This would also mean that he had been doing all of this for 10 years prior to the leaks, and for the entire time he was on YouTube. The entire time he was featured in a Shane Dawson video. He was raping dogs and talking to other like-minded dog rapists.
Damn.
My puppy, oh so long ago. Well, he's all grown up. He was really cute back then, and still is to this day.
I don't know, dude. It somehow gets worse that this guy seems to have a thing for child dogs. I don't know how it got worse. Because if you notice, in that one thing where he felt like, I don't know, like, with that being said, he's like, oh, he used to be so cute. And he still is now. But it just kind of felt like there was an emphasis on the used to be. And then also feeling bad for, like, hurting the dog now that they're older. I don't know. Maybe I'm just grasping a little bit, but it communicates to me a little bit that, like, that he enjoys baby dogs more. Why would you do that, dude? Oh my God! Like, Jesus Christ! Oh my Lord.
According to Pseudonym's leaks, Kero is one of the many involved in the zoo sadism chat logs. Names like Zyro, Glowfox, Emberwolf, and Techno Husky are just some of those implicated in the allegations. But, as mentioned before, Kero's crimes were honestly tame when compared to the other people in these chats. One particular individual who would have his crimes somewhat overshadowed due to the e-celebrity status of Kero would be thoroughly exposed by Kiwi Farms users. He's gone by many names online, but Woof is the one most commonly associated with his crimes, which include a wide variety of animal abuse, torture, and killings. Anyone scrolling through the things he talked about doing would be thoroughly disturbed.
So apparently these disgusting pieces of shit have different methods that they enjoy for torturing and killing animals. This is from another person in the group. Wolf, a wooden toy I used to fuck a virgin bitch. Honey was applied to a few hours before so that the fire ants would cover the toy. It was shoved into a virgin bitch pussy minutes later. Snake thing, I saw that. I love it. So just so you understand what this person is saying, they made a wooden stake and they covered it in honey to get fire ants on it. And then once it was covered in ants, they inserted it into a dog. You know, when we started this, it was Kero fucking a dead deer carcass. And people were like, holy shit, that's fucked up. How could it get worse? Here you go.
Wolf, real name Ruben Pernas, age 29, from Havana, Cuba, was an integral member to these Telegram chats, being specifically interested in zoo sadism. He not only shared animal torture content, but also created it himself.
Dude, what the fuck, bro? This is fucking disturbing. Jesus Christ.
Into explicit detail about how he would acquire animals to then use for his sick pleasure. While it wasn't exactly easy to identify who he was, given the actual content of his messages describing atrocity after atrocity committed towards animals in his care, users were dedicated to getting his docs. Once identified, Kiwi Farms users reached out to him via email.
I mean, I don't support doxing, but good, you know.
Rather than not responding, he instead admitted that all of the confessions he made in the Telegram leaks were, in fact, real, and begged to not have his information published. I understand your concerns and how difficult it is for you and your team/friends to believe in my sincerity after everything I did and said. I assure you and promise you that I do regret for everything I did. I promise that I will not do the things I did ever again. I assure you, I'm neither a threat nor a danger. I want to find peace.
Bro, how do you violently abuse an animal and go, I don't know how do you do it in the first place? I don't understand that. Like, listen, I know this is like a little bit of a hot take, I guess, but there's a difference between there's a difference between like malicious and like non-malicious abuse. Like, I know that sounds really fucked up because you're a piece of shit regardless of whether you abuse somebody. But like when you like take pleasure out of abusing somebody, I think you're irredeemable. If you get really angry and like abuse somebody and then you're like, oh fucking, you realize that like, you're like, oh, that was terrible afterwards, that's still really wrong. You're an abusive piece of shit. But like the it's different. Like, what are you gonna do? Grow a conscience? Yeah, I'm 30 years old. I grew a conscience. No, like malicious. You don't cover a fucking sharp wooden stake in fire ants, and then like rape a dog and be like, oh no, I'm sorry, and I realized that was wrong. Like, how do you not know that's wrong? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know.
And with your help, leave the past buried so that I can start a new life, away from my old life. My advice, look not only for the dark animal groups, but for the human dark groups also. Those groups make you ready to do the worst things you can think of. Those places corrupt your mind and who you are and are like a drug. Once you get in, you can't get out easily. I know the things I did cannot be undone or forgiven. You have the power to destroy me at any time. I'm just asking for a second chance. I'm no longer a threat, nor now, or in the future. Don't do as I did. Please have mercy for that which mercy I did not have. I don't know if there's anything he could possibly do to right the wrongs he committed, but it is worth noting that nothing in this massive apology expresses any real remorse for his actions. He only wishes that no consequences will befall him for everything he did. Obviously, Kiwi users immediately got all of the information together and posted his full docs to 8chan. This resulted in press coverage, the involvement of animal rights groups, social media posts and flyers, and a protest involving hundreds for animal rights in Cuba. But as of now, Wolf's whereabouts are unknown. One poster claimed he was awaiting trial, but that there has not been any updates since.
I mean, listen. Happened in Cuba, is that what we said? And up the waiting trial. Somebody might have taken matters into their own hands, dude. Who knows?
This is likely because there are no laws against animal abuse in Cuba, meaning there's nothing the authorities can really charge him with. For now, it appears one of the most egregious culprits is still on the loose, possibly using dogs to this day.
I get the opposite indication, to be honest with you. I feel like he's probably not alive anymore. To be honest with you, like I could be wrong about that. You know, I don't know. You know, just saying. Hey, thank you so much for the sub, brother.
Daniel X just gifted 1 subs.
Poggers, thank you. I appreciate that. Wow.
But Wolf was only uncovered to be as depraved as he was once the leaks were made public and people began combing through all of it. The initial info dump primarily aimed to take down one individual, Snake Thing, known in real life as Levi Dane Simmons, born December 20th, 1994.
Snake Thing, I love puppies, XD, Wags, I agree. This is a conversation with Wolf now. Played with a 4-month-old puppy yesterday, but only for a little while. He humped really nice and had a beautiful cock. Wish I could spend more time with him to take some pics.
Snake Thing was a close friend of Kero's, discussing bestiality, often in their logs. But Snake Thing himself was depraved in his own unique ways, not only abusing animals, but also children on a regular basis.
Jesus Christ. Thank you for the sub. I'm gonna mute these for now just because of the content we're doing, especially. Thank you for the subs. This guy's a fucking scumbag.
Those involved in the group chats recognized him as a key organizer among zoos, helping them network and make new friends with similar interests. In the logs themselves, he admitted to raping a 12-year-old puppy, as well as abusing his nephews. You may also recognize him from the chat.
I think he meant a 12-week-old puppy, but
logs with Wolf, as the two were in contact and frequently praised each other for their exploits. On March 9th, 2020, he pled guilty to 6 charges of encouraging child sexual abuse in the first degree and 4 charges of encouraging child sexual abuse in the second degree. His sentence is for 25 years in prison, meaning he would be released in 2045. Another member of the chat, Corey the Wolf, TWC, was similarly charged as of 2019 and was awaiting trial, but there has not been any updates since then that I can find. The aforementioned puppy rape by Snake Thing occurred in a motel room in the seaside town of Coos Bay, Oregon. But Snake Thing himself, being legally blind and basically unable to leave his home most of the time, was not able to pull this off on his own. Instead, he had an accomplice, Tim Wynn. While everyone I've discussed thus far has been pretty young, Timothy George Amoroso is not. At 60 years old, he's had quite a history of animal abuse. For half of his life, there's been documentation of these acts, going all the way back to the early days of the internet. Naturally, once things became more user-friendly and younger zoophiles and zoosadists made their way to chat groups and the like, Tim became involved in reaching out to these people to share his own disgusting interests. I've given a lot of dogs/puppies sedatives with the desired outcome. Most just don't know the fun of a squirmy puppy stuck on your cock. Puppy guts are best fresh. When fresh, I think they smell delicious. There is message after message of Tim describing his favorite activities. Acquiring a puppy, abusing it, torturing it, and even having sex with wounds he would inflict while the animal was still alive. Once dead, he would then cook the animals and eat them. Tim has been creating snuff films for decades and aiding other zoosadists and exercising their sick urges as well. He's truly one of the most evil people I have ever read about and feels straight out of a horror film. But I assure you, Tim Amoroso is a very real guy who has done a lot of very real, very terrible things. Things so horrific, my vocabulary limits me from truly outlining just how fucking evil this guy is.
That's fucking terrible, dude.
After meeting on Reddit, Tim and Snake Thing would move conversations to Telegram. This made it possible.
You know what the worst thing is that, like, you're not even allowed to say, like, what you want to do to a person like that on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, how fucked up is that? This guy's a real piece of shit, dude. That's fucking crazy, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Possible for the two to eventually meet and torture animals together. Despite being doxxed and having a tip submitted to the FBI, Tim Wynn was believed to be at large until mid-2019, when he sent an email to the host of the Zooier Than Thou podcast. In this email, he claims to be under investigation by law enforcement and in some kind of therapy program. In July, he created a new...
What therapy do you need for that? Like, listen, like, that's like offending pedophiles. Like, I understand if you haven't done anything and you reach out to a doctor and you get the help you need before you allow your urges to take you. But, like, once you fucking do something like this, what's the point anymore? Like, that person doesn't need to be alive anymore, honestly. It's fucking disgusting.
Reddit account claiming he was trying to find treatment for his impulses.
Yeah, I guess this is why selling animals on Craigslist is bad. Yeah, I guess so.
Seemingly expressing remorse for his past. However, as Archive the Wolf reported, within weeks he was back to his old ways, posting on Reddit about the abuse of animals. It's believed that Tim Wynn is at large to this day. Now there's one last person I want to cover specifically who is important to our story, and is yet another tie between Kero and the Zoosadism leaks. Colwyn Collie. It's a name I have yet to mention, and honestly when hearing it for the first time, it sort of strikes me as a generic name for a furry. Kero the Wolf has spent time in a YouTube video, as well as on Twitter, mourning the loss of Colwyn Collie, who he claims to have been his boyfriend for some time, who had unfortunately passed away due to a drug overdose. If you've spent any time researching furries, you may be familiar with the fact...
Is this one of the people who, like, hurts animals? Then good. I'm happy they died of a drug overdose. Maybe if they're not, then that's sad. But
that there seems to be a persistent drug problem at conventions and behind the scenes. For whatever reasons, many attendees like to experiment with hard drugs.
Well, I wish I wish that issue was worse for these types of people. Not just regular furries, but for these fucking disgusting people.
Kero's video in particular was praised by his fans.
Hey, listen, that's an epic cocaine W, am I right, guys? Common cocaine W on that one, am I right? Common heroin W. Sorry, on that one. So.
We're talking about something so personal and addressing a serious issue in the fandom. But once these Zoosadism leaks were released and Kero was implicated, all of his past became subject to scrutiny, including the existence of Colwyn Collie. The reason why? Well, for one, the video and any tweets about Colwyn Collie were specifically removed when the leaks happened. As far as anyone has been able to figure out, Colwyn Collie never existed. At least, not under that name. Kero did have a boyfriend. His name was Ilwan Shepipaws, someone also implicated in the Zoosadism leaks. Via the chat logs, it can be seen he was buddy-buddy with Snake Thing and Wolf, as well as being the significant other of Kero. Much like Colwyn Collie, Sheppy died of a drug overdose, being referenced specifically by Kero in the Telegram chat logs when discussing his disappearance and eventual passing.
No rush or pressure, bud. Kero, is it about Illy? Because we've been trying to find out what happened for a week now.
A day went by, and then a week went by. I started to get worried.
We tried reaching out to his work. They couldn't tell us anything. We searched everywhere online. Nothing turned up. So my friend is going to try to get a hold of his father tomorrow and see if he checked himself in somewhere.
And then I tried to contact all his friends. I tried to contact his parents.
Last thing he sent me was a Google joke.
And he sent me this stupid Google picture. It was so stupid, but it was funny at the time.
And then I didn't hear from him again.
So I responded, and
what was the joke?
Never gave back a response.
Like, what was the joke? Haha, I raped an animal to death.
Didn't hear from him again.
So I responded.
I'm trying to see like what the joke was.
Me was a Google
Sorry.
joke.
And he sent me this stupid Google picture.
What do you call a Labrador that becomes a magician? A labracadabrador. All right, now I'm happy that he died of a drug overdose.
Sure.
If the animal raping wasn't enough, that just really fucking cemented it for me.
But it was funny at the time.
And then I didn't hear from him again.
So I responded.
But if he didn't actually harm animals, then that's sad that he died. I'm sorry.
And he never gave back a response.
I found out what happened. On Friday, after his day stuff, he got his hands on some weed and heroin. The heroin was laced. I really hate to say it, but he died.
Heroin?
They found him on Sunday.
And then finally, one of his friends messaged me and told me he was gone. He overdosed on drugs, and they found him in his apartment.
That very same day, July 21st, 2018, Kero makes a tweet announcing his boyfriend, Colwyn Colley, had died from a drug overdose.
Kero deleted all traces of Colwyn Colley because he realized that he had accidentally tied himself to the Zoosadism leaks. He basically caught himself, and was bold enough to lie about the identity of his boyfriend's passing to his audience of thousands of people. Keep in mind, this person is also a serial animal abuser and zoo sadist who participated in all of the same shit everyone else there did.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I'm happy he died of drugs. It should have been, honestly, it should have been more violent, but whatever. I mean, it's a fucking, there is a God, guys. There is a God. So.
In the messages, Kero mourns his loss. It's just, the reason why I don't date, well, the reason before I dated him was because I could never find someone with the same interests as me. I could not date a non-zoophile because I hate hiding things from mates. He was perfect. He understood me as a person, and we had so much in common. With so much heat on the situation, it would only
things from mates. That's what it said. Okay.
be a matter of time before the police were involved in some capacity with Kero himself. In November of 2018, video evidence as well as the logs were sent to the police. Many were hopeful that this investigation would lead to some level of punishment, maybe a stint in jail at least. I look forward to his pending arrest and imprisonment. Unfortunately, this was not the case, and today, Kero is a free man. But it wasn't for lack of trying. On September 2nd of 2019, the Kero Archive posted a thread detailing why the investigation failed to produce any charges, going in depth with the statute of limitations, as well as the evidence presented to the New York police. I've spent the last 2 weeks looking over the evidence that had been given to the New York police investigating Kero the Wolf. In this thread, I explained why there's hard proof the statute of limitations is what hamstrung New York's case against Kero, and how he's gotten away on a technicality. In November of 2018, the New York police were sent a video found on 8chan of a mostly unseen camera person molesting a large black and brown dog with long hair. And
that's jeez. Imagine, like, not for nothing, but imagine having to be like an agent, like some kind of like a police officer agent, and you have to sit. It's your literal job to sit there and watch like abuse videos all day. Could you imagine? Because I feel like we don't talk about that a lot. Like the cops that have to like watch like fucking child porn. It's like, what are they can't just be like, oh, that's, they have to like watch it. It's so, how fucked up is that, dude? Or they have to watch like this shit. Like, you've got to have like a real strong constitution to do that. Like that would fucking tear me down as a person. I don't think I could do that shit, bro. That would tear me the fuck, like, dude, that would tear me the fuck down. Because that's crazy. That's just crazy to me. That shit's fucking nuts.
Explaining the implications, Kero was behind
the
video.
You definitely need therapy.
Was the dog being abused.
100%,
a public version of the document was posted on November 7th, 2018 to mega.nz. It was taken down, most likely for using uncensored stills from the video. In the video, the camera person could be seen wearing the same black shoes and gray striped sweater Kero wore to the Pennsylvania Furries. January 17th, 2015, Cosmic Fur Bowl event. And here, comparisons between these screenshots of the video in question are shown, where it is clearly seen that the video's creator is wearing shoes identical to those Kero had worn to a furry convention. The same applies to a sweatshirt, where the same colored cuff and style of sweatshirt can be seen on Kero and the creator of this video. As some additional pieces, it's pointed out that the dog in the video has the same fur patterns as Kero's German Shepherd, and that he has the same red collar.
Yeah, it's, to be honest with you, this is like so circumstantial. It's so, that would be like really difficult for them to do much with. Like, it's like, oh, they have the similar shoes, or they have the same dog, like, dogs and humans are so different, you know, like it's I think it's almost impossible to put like 10 dogs of the same breed in the line and go like, I know which that these are different, unless, I don't know, maybe an animal expert could do that, but I doubt it. With a person, it's so much easier. You know what I mean? So like, there's so many different reasons why the police wouldn't be able to do much.
Did some extensive comparisons of the fur patterns, and they really do look exactly the same. As for when the video was taken, it actually isn't recent, at least if it's to be believed that Kero is in fact the creator. For a moment in the video, the chin of the cameraman could be seen, which appears to be clean-shaven. Kero has not been clean-shaven in images of himself since 2014, hence why it is believed that the video was 4 years old as of the time of the initial leaks in 2018. Now, for the video to not be Kero, here are the circumstances just to run it back a bit. For this video to not be Kero the Wolf, there would have to be another furry who owns a dog that looks exactly the same, owns the same red collar for the dog, owns the same tennis shoes, owns the same sweatshirt, and browses the same areas of the internet Kero does. At least enough.
Yeah, no, like it sounds like it's probably him, but I could see why the police don't have enough to to operate on that, to be honest with you.
For a video to eventually be leaked to 8chan of them abusing their dog. If you think that's not enough, then by all means, believe what you want. But I think most have probably drawn their own conclusions based on this and everything else. So why was this video not enough to get Kero put in jail? I mean, if this is him, why is he not imprisoned? Kero would have you think that it's because he was simply exonerated of all possible charges and that he's completely innocent. But as with most legal issues, it's a little more complicated than that. Bestiality is a misdemeanor in New York, and their statute of limitations on misdemeanors is 2 years. If this video was from an episode of animal sex abuse that happened in 2014 or earlier, the police in 2018 couldn't do anything about it. I looked for the 8chan thread and was able to find the link to the 8chan upload of the video. Doesn't work anymore due to 8chan shutting down. Note the URL ends with a video file name. movie_number 27_2014 1129_002340.mp4. I knew Kero had uploaded photos and videos of himself abusing Coda to Beast Forum and began searching the archived threads and posts there to see if anything matched. On November 30th, 2014, Kero uploaded his first bestiality video to Beast Forum. The video had a very familiar file name, and if we compare these two, they are in fact a match as far as the file name. The jumble of numbers in the file name is the date the video was taken, November 29th, 2014 at 12:23:40 a.m. A day and 2 years too late for the New York police to charge Kero for bestiality and distribution due to their statute of limitations on misdemeanors.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible as well, for sure. That makes a lot of sense.
So, to be clear, Kero is currently innocent in the eyes of the law, but only based on the statute of limitations. If the video that was submitted to the police was submitted sooner, it's possible that there could have been charges, but a judge can't sign a search warrant for a crime that occurred in a time frame outside of that statute, and as a result, there's nothing that can be done about this particular video. 2.5 years after—
It's also possible that they're like, this isn't a whole lot to work on, and like they might have thought like the investigating would be a waste of their resources.
For the initial leaks, Kero posted a video to YouTube titled My Side. In the video, he states that he is innocent and that the police had in fact visited his apartment multiple times a week, even saying he let them search his stuff. After a month and a half, they managed to obtain a search warrant for his apartment and confiscated all of his video equipment, computers, and other electronic devices that could be associated with the production and distribution of illegal materials. At this point, Kero states that he was depressed.
This really took a toll on my
Oh no.
I was suicidal, I was depressed, and I
Oh
was just overall
no.
broken.
Oh no.
Honestly, tried to leave the community in January
Oh,
because
no.
no one was listening to me. But a month after everything was taken, memories poured into my head. The fandom helped me so much, even if a
You
lot
should
of
leave all communities.
you dislike me. I can never dislike the fandom.
Kero says that he plans to return to the fandom because it's where he feels he truly belongs, and what has made him who he is today. He then goes on to discuss the allegations themselves.
While it is true I have
Chair
talked
is
to
too
Snake
big.
before,
That's
I didn't
fine.
know he was a monster he turned out to be. We were not friends, just some guy I met in some furry group. And we talked about feral cartoons. The logs of me are not real. There was none of
It's
that
feral
nasty shit in there,
cartoons.
just a normal conversation between two people who like feral characters. Secondly, I want to point out the legitimacy of the person who posted the logs.
Talking about like feral druids? Or what are we talking about?
This user claims to be an actual confessed zoophile, and the logs contain images of bestiality. How does that make him a legitimate source if he himself is one of those people that abuses animals? A lot of people are so eager to believe what they see online, but they don't take the time to think about things or ask basic questions. 1. How can the source be trusted? 2. What's the motive? In the video shared by him, actual animals were harmed. But instead of taking it to the police, where it would do actual good, he posted online.
At 15 minutes in length, you'd think there would be no lack of runtime to be discussed, but it's honestly not worth dissecting point by point here. Kero ignores the most damning evidence while relying on anecdotal observations, like that the original leaker claims to be a zoophile themselves. His basic message is that he was slandered, he was hacked, and the chat logs are fabricated. He states that the legal process has taken its course, and as a result, people should simply drop it and stop being mad at him because he hadn't been officially charged.
So we were both investigated by the police, and he was found guilty. Meanwhile, I never had a charge on me. That should say something. I'm glad Snake Thing is in jail. So many people were distracted by targeting me, while Snake Thing nearly got away with it. He was the real monster. So to wrap this up, no, I am not a zoo sadist. No, I'm not a pedophile. I know the controversy has caused the fandom a lot of pain. I will do my best to help the community like it helped me so many years ago. I am sorry for how I handled it in the beginning of this.
The video was framed as a sort of response to allegations. After all, it had been done before. People like Slazo and Pro Jared had made videos prior to Kero, and successfully turned public opinion back in their favor. The difference here is that Kero was guilty of everything he was accused of. Subsequent videos on the subject pointed out that there was even more evidence that had been dug up to tie him to the chat logs and show that he was the one in those conversations.
And through all of that, there were never any charges against me. If there's any evidence being used against me, the police would have found it.
Sure, unless you scrubbed and encrypted your devices, which is exactly what the lead investigator for your case complained about. It sure would be a shame if you had displayed a consistent behavioral pattern of deleting evidence that would corroborate with this claim. You know, like that time you deleted your Telegram less than 5 hours after the logs were posted. Or that time you deleted your Periscope garage tour video after people used it to connect the dots with animal abuse videos featuring a dog identical to yours in a garage identical to yours. Or how about that time you removed your classic ARF ARF greeting from your YouTube About section after people pointed out the chat logs featured the same greeting? Or how about that time you deleted all your tweets and privated the video about your boyfriend, Colwyn Collie, after people pointed out he was actually the zoo sadist, Ill One Sheppy Paws? Or that time you deleted all pictures of your dog from Fur Affinity after I pointed out some of those same pictures were uploaded to Beast Forum before you even made your Fur Affinity? Or the time you removed all mention of cheesecake from your Fur Affinity after I pointed out that a Zoophiles Kick username was identical to your saying about cheesecake? Boy, I wonder why the police would have a hard time finding evidence on someone like you.
When Archive the Wolf posted a response video to Kero's My Side, it was received well, and praised for how succinctly it pointed out the flaws with Kero's response. Kero opted to have this video removed from YouTube altogether via a false copyright strike, although the full version is available through re-uploads to this day. It's important to keep in mind that most furries do not support the actions of Kero. As weird as I and many in my audience may find the fandom overall, ultimately, actions have to speak louder than fursuits. Furries themselves were instrumental in bringing all of the information discovered about him to light, as well as various other Twitter users and forum accounts dedicated to compiling all of this information. And all of that should be praised. But there is undoubtedly a problem in the community. As Archive the Wolf points out, this is not an isolated incident by any means within the furry fandom. Multiple of those outed as members of bestiality chat rooms, and even those within these zoosadism leaks themselves, continue to be members of the community to this day. An issue that some seem uninterested in weeding out. If there was a happy message to end this video on, I would. In fact, I tried very hard to find it. Unfortunately, the story of Kero the Wolf is about as blackpilling as they get. It's the story of a man so despicable that you would be extremely hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't associate his online alias with the terrible things he and his community were engaged in. And while Kero was the main focus of this video, it's important to keep in mind that he was not the only one involved here. Kero was a member of multiple group chats and was trying to build a small, isolated community for these interests. There is a non-zero chance that groups like this exist to this day and are like—
Yo, that one said like some weird ass shit. What the fuck?
Community for these interests.
Admit I find boys that are 12 hot. What the
There
fuck?
is a non-zero chance that groups like this exist to this day and are likely
Christ.
sharing materials on the same, if not worse, level of disgust. There have been more leaks since then, and there will be more leaks in the future. If you'd like to know more about all of this, Cecil McFly has done 2 videos which go exhaustively in depth with all of this, and Archive the Wolf has done a bunch of videos going more in depth on specific criminals involved here as well. I'll link both of them in the description down below. According to his Twitter, Joshua Hoffman has left Pennsylvania after getting a new job, and was in the process of moving in early April. The constant hate towards his account has died down, likely as a result of mass blocks, and to this day, while they are few in number, he has a number of people in his replies who send messages of adoration and support whenever he tweets. I've been Turkey Tom, thanks for watching,
Wow.
and until next time, leave me alone.
Incredible. Okay. Well, that was something, huh, brothers? Damn, that was fucking disgusting, bro. That video was a lot more disturbing than I thought it was going to be. That was some fucked shit, let me be honest with you. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.